Now, we have one of the people at IANS, Ann Ellis, sends out monthly reports of near-death stories to the membership at IANS. This one was the January 2015 story, and I thought it very interesting because it's not really a death as such. It's the result of a meditation, something probably anyone could do if they were of a mind to do it. And Anne describes this as an unusual account, a young person who self-induces a near-death-like experience through a type of meditation. And she says, although no spirit beings were met, all knowledge was received along with feelings of pure joy. There was an understanding that everything is one and everything is love, as many near-death experiencers have understood it. A voice answers questions, proclaiming that everything is now, that all possibilities occur at once, and that large and small are the same. This young person actually experienced the reality of these messages, which we often hear, but most of us find difficult to grasp without the experience. So the experiencer reported, one evening I was talking with a friend on the phone who knew that I was interested in exploring different spiritual practices and religions. He said, hey, you should check out a Society of Friends meeting. They don't have any sermons and just meditate for an hour or so together. I was intrigued, and after we hung up, I looked them up on the internet. I found out that they were what I knew as Quakers, and after only a few minutes of searching, I came across a posting that explained a style of meditation they do called looking for the light within. I printed it out, took it to my bed, and read what it said. It was very simple. Get into a comfortable position, close your eyes, focus your attention on the darkness, and look for a light within. When you see a light, focus on it. So that's exactly what I did. After reading the explanation, I turned out the light, lay back, closed my eyes, and right away I could see a pinprick of light inside the darkness of my brain, slightly up and between my eyes. It looked like a distant star. I focused on it, but it kept eluding me, so I used all the might I had. Suddenly, whoosh, I was out of my body and floating in space. It was very dark, but I could see pinpricks of light all around me, again like distant stars. I felt as if I were one with everything. I was everything. I was love. Everything was love. It was the most wonderful feeling I have ever felt in my entire life. Then I asked a question. All I remember are the answers. A voice boomed out so loudly that it could make the universe explode. It said, everything is one. There is no past. There is no future. There is only now. And not only that, but every possible outcome for every possible situation is occurring at the same time. That last statement I couldn't quite understand. I was shown an example of being at an intersection behind the wheel of a car and going straight, turning right, turning left, hitting the building on the corner, hitting a light post, going straight up in the air, burrowing into the asphalt, all at the same time. Every possibility was occurring at the same instant, whether I did it or not. Then I heard, the largest of the large and the smallest of the small are all the same. And I became a wave, a spiral, or a tube of sorts that contracted and expanded in and out, with the in being microscopic and the out being infinitely large. And I understood to the depths of my being that everything was one and that the smallest atom is the same as the universe. I was turned inside out and became everything. And everything was as tiny as the smallest particle and as huge as the universe. It was all the same, and I was it, and it was me. I was just there, floating in this pure ecstasy, knowing to the depths of my being everything I had just heard and witnessed. Suddenly, I was being downloaded with information about every question I had ever had. I have always been interested in science, physics, biology, human relations, spirituality, religion, and so forth. And in one instant, I understood all there was to know. I particularly remember understanding all about how electricity works, and then physics, and then human relationships, and feeling pure joy and a feeling of simplicity. And then an understanding that it's all love. Everything is love. Everything is one. Everything is now. Everything is love. With that, I gradually became aware of my body back on my bed and that I had a huge, goofy smile on my face with drool running down my cheek. I was back in my body with a thud. I jumped up to write down what I could remember, and even after 7 years, it's almost as clear as the moment it happened. And that's an account from the files of IANS, which was particularly interesting to me because I was a practicing Quaker for many years. Never had an experience as profound as that. But that basic message that the form of worship is to sit quietly, meditate, look for the light within, and then communicate what you might learn from that light, because it's God asking you to share